Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're talking about a horror movie that people think they understand, but they really don't. And yeah, I know you've seen breakdowns before. You've heard about the demon, the cult, the curse. But here's the thing. Hereditary was never about a curse, and that's where it gets weird. Because if that's true, then what were we actually watching? Most people walk away from this movie thinking, cursed family, possession, tragic ending, simple. But this movie is not simple. It's structured like a magic trick. You know how magicians distract you with one hand, while the real trick happens somewhere else. That's exactly what's happening here. The film shows you horror, so you don't question control. And that's where it gets weird, because if you rewatch it carefully, you'll notice something. Nothing truly unexpected happens. It feels chaotic, but it's not. From the very first scene, the camera moves into the house like we're entering a model, not a real place. Set up. Then we have the miniatures. The mother builds tiny versions of reality and controls every detail, every position, every expression. So ask yourself, why does the movie focus on that so much? And that's where it gets weird, because the film is quietly telling you this is how their world works. Not symbolic, literal. They are the miniatures, and someone else is placing them. Let's talk about that scene. You know exactly which one. Everyone calls it shocking, unexpected, traumatic. But watch it again. This setup feels forced. The timing is too perfect. The environment feels staged. And that's where it gets weird. Because if you remove emotion for a second, it doesn't feel like chaos anymore. It feels like execution, like a step in a process. So the question changes, not how did this happen, but who needed this to happen. Here's something most people miss: the background. There are people watching, standing still, appearing in shadows, not reacting, almost like they've always been there. And that's where it gets weird, because the movie never highlights them. It never tells you something is wrong. It just lets them exist, which makes it feel natural, but it's not. You only see what you're supposed to see. Now think about this. Name one decision in the movie that actually changes anything. You can't, because every action leads exactly where it needs to go. It doesn't matter what the characters do, the outcome is fixed. And that's where it gets weird, because this isn't horror about fear. It's horror about inevitability, about realizing you were never in control. Now here's the uncomfortable part. The movie does the same thing to you. It controls your attention. Loud scenes make you react. Quiet scenes make you relax. Shocking moments make you stop thinking. And while that's happening, you're missing the pattern, and that's where it gets weird, because the film doesn't just tell a story. It demonstrates its idea on you. So no, this was never about a curse. That's just the surface. The real idea is much darker. Everything was designed, every moment placed, every outcome decided, just like the miniatures. And maybe you weren't just watching it. Maybe you were positioned too. If you like videos like this, where we don't just watch movies but actually break them down, hit subscribe, because there are a lot more films people completely misunderstood. And trust me, it only gets weirder.